morning.
Good morning, everybody.
It's a really rainy day here.
Yes,
and
we're off to a late start.
It's chaotic getting here. But we made it, even though we're a few minutes late our time. Well, even though this won't air until next week. But
you guys will have no idea, but we know.
But we're telling you that we're late. We've loved doing this podcast so far. I feel like it's been really fun.
Yeah.
We're only
I think we should introduce ourselves again just because
maybe
it's
that's
hard to know our voices.
Yeah, your voices. That's a good point. I'm Lauren Stephens.
And I'm Kaki McGrath.
And we are co-founders of Dudley Stephens, which is our family-founded fleece clothing business.
Yes. Welcome again. This
Welcome
is our third
again.
episode.
Yes, third episode.
So we're three in now. We're professionals now.
Yeah.
I think so.
I don't know. I think it's getting harder. Actually, the first one was much easier.
I know. Our adrenaline was going on our first couple, and now it's like rainy and... Hopefully this is okay, guys.
I know.
Bear with us.
Please bear with us. We don't really know what we're doing. But we are going to try to follow this format that we've established. And Graham, my husband, said to shorten the beginning.
Oh, okay.
So that was good feedback.
Instructive feedback from hubby.
Instructive feedback. So we have a drop day going on right now. It's actually Tuesday. This will probably come out next week after Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. And our drop day today, we don't know what our bestseller is going to be yet, but our favorites, we're going to pick favorites. Mm-hmm. My favorite from today is the Sheffield and Navy, and Navy is the new black. So our Navy is selling very quickly this season.
Yes,
Kaki's wearing our Navy Park Slope with tipping.
I know. Our Park Slope and Navy is like sold out.
Yes.
So I think the Sheffield. It's a good replacement.
It's a good backup. Yeah. And Navy's just doing so well. So,
yes.
And what was your favorite? You just said
on the Navy note, the Navy and periwinkle.
Yes. I was wearing that last night.
Color block and the joggers. That kind of, it's a cute little outfit together. It's a set.
It's so cute.
And I just peaked, and so far the joggers are a bestseller.
Oh, no way.
Only like 15, 20 minutes into our drop.
Oh.
So we'll see.
How that
joggers.
Goes.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, it's funny because we didn't make that many joggers this season or terry turtlenecks. So if you love our joggers and our terry turtlenecks, definitely get on those quickly because we don't have that many of them this year. So that's exciting. So the drop is today, and it's also included in our Black Friday sale. And there's a fun gift with purchase that's running until the little turtleneck ornaments sell out.
Oh, yeah.
So jump on that.
Right. And then we have, so as Lauren mentioned, this is we're recording this on Tuesday because of the Thanksgiving holiday this week. We have a drop on Friday, which is our neon drop.
Yes.
So this will launch on Monday. So there'll probably still be some inventory of our neon drop on Friday. So you guys should all take a look at the site and see all the fun colors and
very bright colors.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's really good for skiing too.
Yes.
And we've talked about neon quite
and there's
a bit
kids
on this
stuff. Yeah. It's a great drop on Friday. Mm-hmm. And then Monday we have waffle fabric we can't keep in stock. Mm-hmm. And it's our Perry Street pullover. So those are dropping on Monday. Mm-hmm. And more Juliet turtlenecks, which is our turtleneck with the bow detail, which is really cute and dressy.
Really good to dress up for the holidays.
Yes.
And I love the waffle too. It's becoming a customer favorite.
Yes.
People are really loving it.
Yeah.
And it's also good for warmer climates too. So if you're not in...
True. Like if you're in the South, like in Atlanta, like I feel like that's like a good climate for
our mom is in Florida for a lot of the winter, and she loves the waffle down there.
Yes, that's
we have
great.
a white waffle coming out too. Which
yeah,
is
that's the
really
first time we're doing white waffle. Yeah. Bonnie's so excited. Our mom. It's like perfect. It's great. And then Tuesday we have, so our sale goes through Monday, December 2nd.
Yes.
And then Tuesday, December 3rd is Giving Tuesday, which most people probably know is a way to give back after you've shopped your heart out and checked all, maybe everyone off your list or maybe not. Mm-hmm. And so Tuesday, December 3rd is Giving Tuesday. And we have a really exciting collaboration coming out with a local charity organization called Bundles of Joy, doing amazing work, servicing Westchester, New York City, and suburbs beyond, and helping babies and children and mothers in need. And it's such a wonderful organization. More to come on that. We'll talk more about that in our podcast next week, I think. But that's dropping on the 3rd. So
we have a custom color in there, like
Bundles of Joy, minty green. It's so
it's
pretty.
Really pretty. I wore it like last week, I want to say.
Yeah.
To drop off, and I got so many compliments on it.
It's
so
a beautiful pastel-y color. Yes. And would be good for like January, February, March, springtime in a pastel fleece. Mm-hmm. So more to come on that. That's a really exciting collaboration. And We are dropping it on the 3rd, but we plan to keep talking about it, even after we drop it. Because it's
we might have a special guest come on our show to also talk about it. We'll see.
Yeah, maybe she'll be our first guest.
Yeah.
And if you have any guests to suggest, please send them. We've gotten a few requests, which are great. So any requests you have in that regards, we're open to suggestions. So that's kind of the Dudley Stephens talk. So today is our 3rd episode. We spent the 1st and 2nd episode kind of talking about who we are and how we started our company and, funny stories along the way. And so today we're going to talk about fashion. And what's funny about talking about fashion is that Khaki did not work in fashion prior to launching our company.
I'm going to be making fun of myself a lot on this episode.
It's a favorite topic for me, and I could talk about it, hours on end. But Khaki had a different background than I, working in marketing and loyalty marketing and events.
This goes back to our upbringing too. Lauren was into the bags at age 5, and I was into playing baseball with my dad. Like, I had a tomboy little background, played street hockey with our neighbors, and
exactly.
Lauren was prancing around the street and with her purse, showing off her style in front of the boys.
Yeah. Wasn't really playing the sports with the boys like Khaki was, but yes, we were different then, and I think that's why, like, for any parents out there with kids that have different personality children, I think it actually is great because we've had this, amazing friendship in addition to being sisters. And I feel like it's because we bring different things to the table.
I know.
We're different.
We do. We have the same sense of humor, but different interests.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Yes.
So
exactly.
it helps.
Yeah. So we, I spent time working in fashion prior to launching Dudley Stephens, and my background was in celebrity dressing. And whenever I talk about this, people want to know more and like what celebrities I worked with. So I thought it'd be fun to maybe just talk about it a little bit.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what stories I would tell, but I do want to bring up something that has been very top of mind for me, because I think I mentioned this in the last episode, but when I become set on doing something, I become obsessed with it.
Yes.
That's all I talk about.
That's all she talks about.
And it really bothers my family, and I can be very persistent and probably very annoying at times. So I've been talking about this nonstop at home with Graham, my husband, and also with Khaki. And but I actually wrote a book, and I finished it yesterday.
Yay! Round of applause.
But when I say finish, I mean I wrote the whole story, but it's not even close to being finished.
Well, you have
yet.
to write it and edit it, and
exactly.
I don't know what happens after that.
I don't either. That's what I'm talking about. And like we said, when you start this is like my new side hustle. Like, tell everybody, because maybe someone will be able to help you. So I feel like I wanted to just talk about it here because it's been so exciting for me, and also it's long, but it has a lot of work to do. But the most exciting part about writing this is that it's checking something off my list I've always wanted to do. And also it's talking about celebrities and my previous life. So I feel like I relived my 20s and 30s writing this book, which is like so funny and weird, and also like creepy, because you'll you get so involved in writing it, and then you go to your normal life and you're like, whoa, I'm not in that world anymore.
I'm not 25 anymore.
Yes, exactly. And so, but the book is all fiction. It's a novel, and it's based on another character that I've made up, but it's taking some of my fun celebrity stories and using them to tell the story. Yeah. So I'm really excited about it.
Inspired by your life.
Yes, exactly. So, yeah, and like Devil Wears Prada, that sort of thing. I mean, that was kind of a similar type book, because the fashion world can be so crazy, and there are very strong personalities, and it's intense, and it's a grind. And, whenever I would meet people or talk to friends, I'd have these crazy stories, and they would say, like, you should write a book. And so people always say that, and then you get it in your head, and you're like, I should write a book.
Yeah.
But never did I have the motivation to do it until the last 6 months. I don't know why.
You sent me like a very, very beginning draft. I read, I think, maybe a few pages, and I was like, this is so weird that it's my sister.
Yeah.
I couldn't continue reading it after that,
I
but it
know.
was so good. Like,
I
the first few
know.
pages were really good, but then I got like a little awkward that it was you.
I know. I don't want mom and dad to read it. I don't know if I'm going to let them read it. Can you do that can you say like, don't read this?
I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, that will be an interesting.
No, I will definitely read it once it's in a better spot.
I know. It wasn't even finished
that was also
yet.
advice for you too. Someone gave you too.
Yes.
Maybe your father-in-law said,
Finish
I don't want to read a draft. I want to read the final
read the whole
one.
book. Yeah. So then I knew that I needed to just finish it.
Yeah.
But yes, it's, you know, the fashion industry and working in it. If they're, you know, and often I'll network or meet with young ladies that are trying to get in the fashion world. We both do. I feel like people reach out to us and want to network, or they ask about internships. And it's so funny writing that book, because now in our lives and what we're doing in the fashion industry is totally different. You know, it's like a 180, and we've both had to learn so much in regards to that in starting our company. It was, you know, I did PR and I did celebrity styling and dressing. And so it's just interesting when reliving all those memories and thinking how different it is from like where I am now, and like had I known then where I would end up.
Yeah.
One could not have predicted that, I guess.
Well, yeah. I mean, Lauren, back then, what did we talk on at work? Like Google Talk or whatever? Was it Google Talk?
That's a really good question.
It wasn't AIM. Anyway,
No,
we would
I think it was Google
be
Chat.
chatting during the
Google
day
Chat.
on Google
Yes,
Chat.
yes.
And she's like, I have to go get on a plane with a dress to fly across the country to a show.
Yeah.
I'm like, you can't just ship it? And she's like, no. Like, I have to be carrying this dress, meet with the celebrity that you were styling for that award show, whatever it was, and then come home
back.
the same day. So you're like out to LA and back in one day just for carrying this one dress.
A dress. I know. And I was like the lowly level assistant who was sent on that mission. So it was like really intense, but fun, you know, when you're 25 and you get to fly to LA for a day.
Well, we can ship our fleece across the country
via
UPS.
Yeah. We do that. Yeah. I don't think we need to get on a plane with the fleece.
No, thankfully.
It's a little different. Just a little different. No, but yeah, it was like such fun times. And Khaki and I were actually living together too.
Yeah.
While this was all happening.
Right.
Yeah. So, and the character does have a sister, but she's nothing like you, actually. So if anyone thinks that this person is, I know.
Thank you.
Yeah. All of the characters are made up, and I can't stress that enough because I don't want anyone to think that I'm like, you know, trying to paint them in this certain picture. But yeah, it's a completely fictional story, just with stories that, you know, I experienced that were funny and crazy, and, you know, just like working with that in Hollywood and with celebrities. There's never a dull moment, and can be thrilling, but it can also be quite scary at times. So I tried to like pick up on that as well. And we'll see, you know, how it goes. But it's just funny. I had this whole previous life that I absolutely loved. And then by moving to the suburbs and having children, things kind of changed. But like there were times like I was out to dinner with friends when I was doing this job, and we had dressed Emma Stone for the Golden Globes.
I remember that.
And
she was beautiful.
Oh my gosh, it was one of the highlights of that time and working in that field. And I got to work with her stylist and her team, and like I even met her mom briefly at one point, and she was just absolutely, you know, as one would expect, just like a wonderful person and so cool. And
just refreshing in that world, right?
Yes.
To meet someone that's
she's
more
so
down to earth.
normal.
Yeah.
Oh my God. She just was like, so, I mean, I would just go to these fittings and think like, gosh, I wish we could be friends, but like, we're not, we're not going to be friends because this is a professional.
So what are you doing next week?
Yeah. And she was probably like, sorry. No, I was also older than her too. It wasn't like we were, you know, but anyway, so subsequently after I had met her, I was at dinner with friends in the city, and she happened to be at the restaurant with her dad and I think her brother. And I didn't see her. I was like sitting at the bar, and she was like, Lauren. And I turned around, and everyone I was with was like, Emma Stone, like, how do you know? Because like they knew what I did, but not the details of it, you know? So it was just surreal in that sense that like, you know,
Did you call her Emma? Were you on a first name basis?
Yes.
Hey, Emma.
I very much was. And it was so cool to have that, you know, experience and just interaction with those types of women who are so well known and respected and just accomplished. You know, it was really a fun time, but also, you know, wasn't sustainable for a family to have a family because it was so much travel.
You couldn't fly across the country for a day with little kids. That's difficult.
Pick up on Although we just did that to LA.
We did
go last minute for the event.
We did go last minute. We stayed a couple nights.
Yeah.
Took the red eye back.
We did.
We try to, when we travel, it's so fun because we get to go. It's a sister trip, but we also try to condense it as much as possible too, which is
well, actually, can I tell a funny story about that LA trip? So Khaki and I went to LA for Reese Witherspoon's Shine Away event, which Hello Sunshine, her publishing media production empire, has this yearly conference with women. It's amazing. If anyone's listening to this and ever wants to go, I highly recommend going. It's so inspiring. The guest list of the people that spoke was like unbelievable. One well-known person after the next, I feel. So when we had the opportunity to go, Khaki and I just said yes, and we're like, we'll figure it out. So 2 weeks later, we were on a plane to LA. We get there, we set up, we worked the pop-up trunk show based format, I guess, for the whole weekend. And we had a blast. Like, I think it was so much fun. Sarah Blakely was there, who we were hoping to meet, but did not, sadly. Right. But she's like the ultimate entrepreneur. Oh yeah, and I actually bought her sneaks to wear.
Sneaks,
and they were controversial. I feel like people either were like, "Where did you get those?" or "What are those?"
Right. But you ended up liking.
I loved them.
You spent all day on them, and your feet were.
It was like wearing sneakers all day. Yeah. So I was a big fan of that. And I just thought if we're going to
also Lauren is able to style them in a way that's very cute.
Thanks.
You're obviously very trendy. And so you put them on. And I was like, oh, they look great on you.
Yeah.
If I put them on, it would be like, what is that girl wearing?
I don't know. You'd probably be sporty and cute in them though. I don't know. But yes, they were very comfortable. I recommend them if you have to be on your feet and you want to like dress up. You have a work event or something. It's good for that.
Yeah.
So we came back on the red eye flight, and I actually have a reel on my Instagram about the story. So go watch that for a separate story. Because it was just coming back on the red eye, walking into Monday with your children. I'll never do that again. Now lesson learned. But Khaki and I, so we were able to fly Delta One back, which is like the business class. I don't even really know what it is. It's a new business class option. Do you know?
I don't know.
You're good at travel stuff. No?
I used to be before kids.
You're like the points person, and like if you ever need like advice on a credit card or point system, ask
that was my previous life, and working on loyalty programs for credit cards and hotels.
I always rely on you for those things. So anyway, so we got this opportunity to fly Delta One back. We were upgraded, and as part of this new Delta One in LAX, they were opening this lounge that is like a separate entrance from all other security at LAX. And
so you literally walk in a door. It has its own like baggage security area to check in.
Yep.
There's one little conveyor belt to go through security.
It was like you're flying private. Yeah. There was no one else there. And then it was so crazy.
Oh, you press the button to the elevator, you go up, and the doors open.
Yes.
To the lounge.
Yes. It was
you don't
incredible.
Have to go through the airport.
It was so luxury and like so awesome.
I was like, what are we doing here?
I know. But the best part was, and I don't even know if you remember, well, I know you remember, but we were so determined to find this entrance because I was like, when else are we going to fly this? Like, we need to have the full experience of the Delta One experience. Like, where is this entrance? And we could not find the entrance. And I don't know if it was us or what was in our heads. I don't know. But we had our rolling suitcases and we were just like running from one end to the next of the gate. Like, where is it? We couldn't find anyone to ask because the airport was so crowded. And I was like, I don't care if I miss this flight. I'm going through that security experience and like going into this amazing new lounge. Because apparently there's like a Michelin chef restaurant and like massages. I don't know. It just sounded like heaven for a mom.
Right.
So I literally like tripped over a stair at one point. Like,
I know, we were on a mission and I was a little bit ahead of Lauren and I looked back and all of a sudden she's like stumbling down the stairs with her bag.
I was like, we had to find the Delta One entrance. And it was so embarrassing. And like, I can't even imagine if anyone had seen us or noticed us trying to do this, but we did find it. But it was very obscure.
We had to go back outside, which was confusing.
Okay, that was it.
Yeah.
That was why we couldn't find it, because we were inside we were down at security, where the baggage claim, then we were up at security. We went everywhere at that front entrance of LAX looking for this entrance, and we had to walk outside.
And then once we found it, the doors opened automatically, and there's a guy standing there going, "Do you want champagne?"
And I was like, this was worth it. Yeah. See, I fell at LAX to experience a man with a tray giving me champagne because I'm a mom.
Which we were both like, well, yeah. But then we had to go through security.
I know, it was so confusing, but I wasn't going to turn down champagne. So I took it and kind of had half of it standing there awkwardly with the guy. And I was like, okay, maybe we should just go.
Oh my God.
So then
funny.
But then the best part is that the actual Delta One lounge was not even open yet.
Yeah. We were literally like 2 days off. The opening
it was
day
the
was
next day. I know. So we did go into the Delta, whatever you call it, Sky Lounge.
Yeah.
Which was obviously
Sky
very
Club.
Nice. Sky Club. But I don't know. I mean, at least we got to experience the separate entrance and we didn't have to go through the normal security, and we felt a little special. But
the two of us traveling together is pretty hilarious. Like, to be an ant on the wall for that, or a fly on the wall. Like.
It was so chaotic and so necessary that we were to find that entrance. And you would think, as moms, we'd have our head on straight with this travel stuff. I almost feel like I'm worse when I'm alone, because when you have your kids, you have to be so on top of everything, packing the bag, whatever it is.
Right.
And then
I always feel like I'm forgetting something.
Yeah. Like 100%. Like my left arm. I'm like, I left something at home.
Right.
I'm sure.
My kids. Where are they? Like, you have that second moment of panic. You're like, where are the kids?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Oh, right. I'm alone. No, it's a very weird feeling to travel alone when you have children, and especially when they're from the ages of newborn to, 5. Traveling is just terrible. It's like, it's so hard. So in moments like these, the solo travel, I feel like the wheels come off. Like one time I went on a girls trip and I didn't even bring like my laptop. I didn't even bring a book. I just had my phone, and I read on my phone, and I watched the TV on the plane, and it was just so liberating.
Chill.
Not to think of anything. Yeah.
I mean, going back to that event too. So Lauren and I, as she mentioned, decided to go last minute.
Yes.
And so it was just the two of us. Now we have a team of people that help us with events now, which has been amazing. So Lauren and I haven't really had to do all the boxes and unpack at events.
We've had so much help, which has been great.
But we were back into the thick of it, like the beginning days.
Yes.
And it was also an event very much like my previous life, going back to our 20s.
Yeah,
just on that topic.
Yeah, lots of unpacking.
Lots of unpacking the boxes and moving stuff.
Setting
I lived a lot less glamorous life. I didn't work with celebrities. I worked at these sporting events and entertainment events, and would be carrying boxes all around, and I don't know, whatever. Yeah. But it felt very much back to
yes, it did.
my 20s.
Yes, it was like
we had to carry. We had these dollies that were kind of broken. Like a wheel was falling off, and we had to carry these push these dollies with
through LA,
10 to 15 boxes on them
down Los Angeles,
like multiple blocks in LA.
And it was really hot.
It was hot,
and we were wearing fleece. Because we always have to wear fleece.
Yeah.
It was like 85. It was a heat wave in LA. We were pushing dollies on the sidewalk. All the boxes.
So again, going back to, if you're starting a side hustle, just remember this.
You are going to do a lot of that. Yeah. And we do it a lot still. Yeah. Even though we have wonderful help and ladies that work with us, it always happens where you just have to do it.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
And
it's
humbling.
Yeah,
it is humbling. But yeah, so back to, fashion and our lives now where we are. It's so funny also to think, as I was writing this book, about what I used to wear in my old life and what I wear now, and what we were talking about yesterday, which is that very much so our company is part of our lives in so many ways, and what we want to wear every day, because we're moms living in the suburbs, casual, but still wanting to feel, a little put together. Yeah. And I think in writing this book, I kind of realized all of that, how lucky and how 180 it's been for me personally. I don't know.
Well, I love it because, as I've said, fashion's not a huge, I don't know. It's hard. It's harder for me. I'll go with that. So to be able to have a company where I'm like, oh, I actually know what to wear every
Totally.
day.
Yes.
Makes life so much easier.
Yeah.
I have a stack of fleece and I'm like, do I want to wear navy or spruce or
Right.
camel today?
Yeah.
And then
that's it. That's the only decision.
Exactly.
Other than that, you're good.
And I can just throw it on and still feel put together. It's great.
Exactly. And I think that's what you really brought to the table when we started everything, was like all the other experience outside of the fashion stuff. You know, we needed that. Otherwise it'd be very one-sided.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm really excited about writing this book and hopefully getting it published at some point. I don't know, but it, you know, it was a lot of just crazy stories of red carpet dressing and fashion shows and traveling around the globe with these companies. And I'm really thankful that I at least did it, because now I have something to look back on and kind of remember some of the fun things that I got to do, because it was pretty cool.
Very cool.
And I don't know, but it's definitely like a little more scandalous than I thought it would be, the book. So that's why I don't want mom and dad to read it if they're listening. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah. But
I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
But anyway, I'm glad to talk about it because, like we said, if you have an idea or a side hustle, tell people and, you know, ask for help. And see what you never know what you could uncover. Yeah, exactly. So I think we have some really exciting guests ideas, and we would love if anyone listening has guest ideas, and they don't even necessarily need to be in Greenwich or, you know, Connecticut. They could be elsewhere in the world and in the country, and also questions for us that you have. One of the questions I wanted to answer today actually was, as we talk about fashion in my previous life, was our design process. And that was something someone asked that I thought was so interesting, because, you know, we do it day in and day out and we don't think about how cool that part of it is. And right now we have a small team of designers that we work with that are like the technical people who do like the CADs and the sketches. Shout out to Nikki and the Alice James team, who's wonderful, that we work with on all that. But I think the design process really comes from all of us.
It's so collaborative. Like
exactly.
I would say Lauren comes up with like a theme kind of for each new season.
Try to.
My mom always sends new ideas. She's so up to, like she gets the new trends and fashion. So she'll send some ideas our way constantly throughout the year, and we kind of save them in a little folder and go from there. And then Lauren will come up with like a theme each season, and then we have designers that kind of take that theme and put it down on paper with the CADs and all that. And we then go from there. And they actually, we're like, oh, this looks great. Sure, yes, that one. I don't know about this one. We have a style that's pretty similar to that. Yep. So
look at you, fashion person. Saying you're not a fashion person, but I don't know.
Well, it's become fun now that I have some experience in it. You know, 9 years in now.
I know. I guess you're right. It has been 9 years.
So yeah, and then we'll go from there, and then we send them to our factory, and they make the samples, and that's when it really becomes super collaborative, because we all sit in the fittings together. Whether, you know, some people are on Zoom or, you know, we're all in it in person. We try to get together in person as much as possible, because it is so important to be there and see it in real life.
And another thing too, on that note, like then it becomes so collaborative, and that's why having like mom there and all of the women that are in there that have different body types, like
and different styles too.
So we try to take, you know, and I think I said this, or I can't remember if I said this, but I still do our fit modeling. So, you know, everyone in there, like we all kind of chime in on like what we like and what we like about the fit, and we just try to take it all, you know, as best we can. Or we say that style is meant for this person, then, you know, if it doesn't fit check every box, I guess. But
it still serves a purpose, and we should still make it.
Yes.
Because not everything is going to fit everyone. We know that.
And that's why we have different turtleneck lengths and fits and colors and everything.
And we try to, I mean, we have a customer that loves the Cobble Hill turtleneck, so we'll try to come out with styles that have the same type of body as the Cobble Hill, but maybe a different neckline, or, you know, buttons, or
so
a twist,
a turtleneck twist.
Exactly.
So I think that to answer the design question, it's very collaborative. It starts with an overarching, you know, concept or inspiration, whether it's like vintage Hollywood or, you know, preppy classic New England. That was one theme one season. And then that kind of just sets the tone for the rest of the styles. And it very much works like what we call our North Star in our business, which is female founded, recycled fleece, family owned company. That's kind of our North Star of how we make decisions. And I feel like that one overarching design idea then becomes that little mini, collections design,
right?
You
North
follow
Star.
North Star and you make the decisions based on that overarching theme of the collection.
Yeah.
And whether or not we do that perfectly every time, it doesn't always happen, but it's nice to have that like concept, to kind of follow.
It is funny going back to how we have so many different body types and styles in the room. Like sometimes Lauren's like, I could never see myself wearing this. And Bonnie, our mom's like, I want that tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm taking the sample
I'm
actually.
Taking that now.
Take that off. I know, like give it to me.
But it is funny. And then we kind of like tease each other a little bit. Like it becomes fun.
And but it also can be like tense sometimes because, people have strong opinions and like you want to hear them out,
Right.
I don't know. And I've heard this described, we're not a couture dress line, but I heard a designer.
News to me.
I heard a designer once say that each of his designs feels like a baby, like every single one.
Yeah.
And in a way, I feel that way about all of our styles. Like the one you're wearing and the Manchester that I'm wearing, like I'll see it and I'll remember the fitting and the thought process behind it and why we added that detail and why we did it in those colors. And, it's a whole process from start to finish, and you think about it for each style.
Right. And we think about it a lot.
We think about
and change our mind multiple times.
We think about it way too much. And I think also, we change our mind a lot, which is very difficult sometimes. But I think I actually spoke at my son's class last week about being an entrepreneur and working in fashion and all that. And I did a little trivia, which if you're ever speaking in a class or like going to your kid's school, trivia is like, they went crazy for it. I don't even think they cared what the subject
type of,
was.
Game or competition.
Exactly. And then I just, whatever. But I had this whole trivia, and the one thing that they were blown away by, which I think that anyone would be, is that it takes 1 year from start to finish to design and produce something and get it online to sell, which no one really thinks about that.
No.
Like it's
so
so
we're thinking,
long.
So right now it's November of 2024. We're already doing next 2025 winter season.
So then things will come out and I'll forget. I'm like, just drop today. Oh my God, I forgot. Like, it's like so exciting. I love that style, but we're already like thinking 1 year ahead.
And sometimes it's so hard to wait that long for styles that you really love.
Oh my gosh, it is. Like the Sherpa that's dropping in December. I wore it this morning. Oh yeah. So we have a new print coming out December 10th. It's a hydrangea print in Sherpa, and it's so amazing. It's so cute and preppy and like fun. I mean, I say preppy. It could be cool too, but it's kind of preppy.
Preppy is cool.
Preppy is cool, and I love it. I love being going the preppy route. I wore it this morning, and when I fit that style and whatever fitting it was, I just remember thinking, I need this now. Yeah. And it's finally coming December 10th.
And you wore it already.
I have the samples. So
that's the thing. I know, since Lauren's a fit model, she gets all the samples early. And I have to wait until we actually launch them.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. I always get everything first, and it feels like Christmas morning. It's so exciting. Every sample that comes in, I just love trying it on and wearing it. But that style is called our Cherry Lawn, and I have a feeling that's going to be like one of our core carryover styles.
Definitely. And it's in a beautiful hydrangea print, which people love. And I think it's going to be really popular.
And it has waffle on it. Back to the waffle. People love the waffle.
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
right.
Like mixed waffle and Sherpa. So we're giving you what you want. And what we want too.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, so we're really excited about that. But so, back to just like the fashion and working in fashion, I think I'm glad that I roped you into doing this with me.
I know. Thank you.
We are 9 years later. You're talking about designs,
Here I am.
Fashion. Never thought
that I would be doing this. But I mean, literally in college, I would wear jeans, sneakers, and a zip-up black fleece, Patagonia fleece, to class every day. And I lived in New York. I went to school in New York City. You would think I would like try to pick it up a little bit. No.
It doesn't matter.
Wanted to be comfortable.
Yeah, you were an athlete. You didn't have time. There was no time for that.
So then the fleece clothing idea came out, and I was like, well,
like I could get on that.
I can get into that.
That sounds something that we all could appreciate. I know when we Yeah, it was definitely like interesting too, because I like left luxury fashion and then launched a more, like ready to wear, just something more everyday of fabric that's outdoorsy too. Like not something that's like, Chanel is using. I don't think probably not. But so I went from that to that. Like another reason why I was at 180, and I remember a friend of mine saying like, "Are you sure you want to do that? Because like you're really leaving behind." This career, but never did I ever question it. I don't know, just kind of because I think it's our lives that we just like are now in this next phase of life.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, also you can dress it up.
Yeah.
You do a very good job of dressing it up.
It's fun to dress it up. Yeah. And make it, on trend and cool.
Exactly.
And yeah.
So
make it feel, and then it's so comfortable.
Right.
It's comfy. Like I think I might be going into the city tonight. Did I tell you?
No.
I don't know. So I kind of had to dress for it.
Oh, interesting.
I know.
I don't know about your life. What's happening?
I'm not usually this spontaneous, but we might do a spontaneous date night in the city.
Oh, well, that's fun.
Yeah.
You dress the part.
So now I'm wearing a fleece with black jeans, and I can get on Metro North and go to the city and feel dressed up. I know. It's the beauty of our brand, right? Anyway, so I think we're going to wrap up now.
Yeah.
Good.
This is fun.
Yeah.
I mean, so this is launching on Monday, which is also a drop day.
Yes.
So check out our website.
And it's the last day of our sale.
Stephens.com. Oh, yeah. It's the last day of our sale.
Last day of Black
Friday
Cyber
sale.
Monday sale.
So get in. And we already have sellouts. So the Park Slope in navy, I think, is pretty much sold out. But the one I'm wearing,
I'm surprised that
with
one hasn't
tipping,
sold out yet.
I know.
Yeah,
It's still in stock.
It's so good. So
it's a good one.
It looks so cute.
And I mean, going back to my sports world, if you are a football fan,
Giants,
Giants, Patriots,
yeah,
I don't know. This works.
And also, Khaki coordinated her shoes with the navy and red. So I'm sorry that
I love a good red, white, and blue moment.
Yeah, and you are on trend. You're wearing cool sneakers. I mean, I think she gets it.
There we go. I've come a long way from my street hockey days and when I was 5.
Street hockey. Oh my God. Yeah, that happened for sure. All right. Well, this has been really fun.
So fun. Thanks for listening. Again, rate and review.
Oh, yes. Yes. Please rate and review.
What do our kids say now after watching YouTube? Like and subscribe.
Yeah. And they say that and I'm like, I'm a terrible mom.
I know.
You're watching YouTube too much.
But do it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, but do it. Please do it. We're begging. We're really having fun doing this. So
this
we
is
would
the longest
appreciate
episode we've had, and I thought it would be the shortest.
Guys, wow. Okay, good.
We are becoming professional.
Yes, we are. I really
All right, I think it's time to wrap up.
Yeah, okay. Okay. All right, well, happy Thanksgiving, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Talk to you soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye.